Hey, it's your boy Lock Zero, and I'm here with.
It's your main man, Rev. How's it going, guys?
And we are here to bring you the latest and the greatest in the One Piece verse.
Yeah, we got that fresh pirate action hot off the presses. We got chapter 1023 on deck today. Very excited. This week's called Two Peas in a Pod.
Word. Yeah, super excited for this. Last chapter was so fucking hype. Looking forward to this one as well. And if you want to help us out, show a little support, just hit that like and subscribe. Por favor. We greatly appreciate it. Any personal notes? Anything you want to talk about?
Not too much, really. Just very excited to get into this chapter. Very excited that we have 3 weeks in a row of One Piece action. I'm just so excited to get all that out and see what it has to deliver over the next coming month.
Word. All right then. So let's just get into this, man. So yes, chapter 1023, Two Peas in a Pod, and
before we actually jump in, let's talk about this color splash page. I don't know if a lot of the viewers saw it, but great splash page of some of the top characters in One Piece, and just some great artwork there by some of my personal favorites as well. Some guys like Bardo in there, and Odin in the background, Katakuri, and Law especially. So all those great characters, and we see a lot of different people that I'm sure obviously very popular in North America.
So yeah, for those who don't know, this is taken from the global WT 100. I'm not sure what the WT stands for. It's probably World something, but there was a big global voting thing that went on before where people from different countries voted for their favorite characters, and then there was an aggregate of all the favorites from the different countries. So they're gonna get the top 50 highest voted characters and place them in a huge collage of this color splash, and all the different color splashes are gonna connect. And then I'm going to print this on this very nice printer that I have. It's a professional printer that is used for art quality stuff. So I'm gonna blow them up, have them really big, connect them all together, and probably put that shit on my wall somewhere. So maybe I'll have a nice background with this cool ass color splash all connected once it's all said and done.
That would look very nice in color. So definitely would love to see a picture of that when it's all complete. Got another reason I'm very excited about 3 chapters of
yeah. And then another side note, given that it's understood that this is going to be a thing in the next Shonen Jumps, these color splashes are going to be there. It's going to mean no break for a while. I think there's either 2 more color splashes or 3 more, so we're going to have a nice chunk of One Piece with no break. Thank the Lord. But yeah, that is all I have to say about the color splash. And we
imagine after that he's like, I'm going on the break for the rest of 2020. I'm out.
don't even joke about that, man.
All right, we'll take that back. But yeah, let's go back into the main chapter itself. We have the first page. It's Vivi, and she has a bunch of birds singing on her with Karu looking jealously on under her. She's in a tree for some reason as well.
Nice cover request. I know there's some hardcore Vivi fans out there, and they consider her an honorary Straw Hat. I'm not too crazy about Vivi. She's nice, I guess, but doesn't blow my mind or anything.
She's cool.
Yeah, but for all those Vivi fans out there, feel happy that she has been featured.
Some love for the 10th member, the 11th member. Yeah. All right, but jumping in, 2 peas in a pod, we start off with Zoro and Sanji looking on at their devastation that they wreaked with King and Queen.
Yep.
And one thing I noted was that Chopper, right after this, was like, oh my god, I'm so glad it actually worked. And I'm like, what would you guys have done if this was just some BS and he couldn't have recovered?
Yeah.
They'd have all been dead.
Yeah, so I'm glad the chapter is kicking off with this. We did, last chapter wasn't just a little one-off, a little teaser of a fight between them. We're sticking to this. We're continuing with this little fight. So I'm glad to see that. And what else was I gonna say about this? Yeah. So I don't want this to be a situation with Zoro in particular, where towards the end of the fight or the middle of the fight, the medicine starts to wear off, and he's all like, "Ah, I gotta get this done. The pain is starting to kick back in," because that's gonna be annoying. Like so many fights with Zoro, he's fighting at a handicap. He's never just fresh 100% ready to go, and I hate that. Can't he just fight people like clean and right off rip? Does he always have to be at a disadvantage? Like,
well, if he did that, then he would just beat everybody, and then
hey,
we wouldn't have a show with one Luffy as the main.
Are you saying Oda has to give him a handicap?
Has to do it. Has to limit him. Can't be around for the final battle. Otherwise, we know he'd step up and get the job done himself.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, we see King and Queen laid out, and Queen is little like gritting his teeth, and King is just like, "Oh, I hate Mondays," kind of face.
Another boring day at the office.
Yeah. People are starting to target Zoro, and Kawamatsu jumps in. He takes out the sniper who's targeting him, and Hyogoro's like, "Yo, people, stay out of this fight. This isn't for you. You cannot hang with these people, and let's stop everybody else from also messing with this fight." So we're getting the nice setup. There's not going to be interference. We're going to get a straight up fight between these guys. It was looking like a tag team. Some people were speculating, they might get separated at some point and be one-on-ones. But I would prefer if it's a 2-on-2 and they kind of intermix and support each other back and forth. But yeah, that is what's happening.
Yeah, no, I think so too. With the like with their dynamic, especially what's about to come up, I could see them finishing off King and Queen at the same time, and it's like, who's truly the strongest member? They're back on the same level in the Monster Trio.
All right, sorry about the interruption. Little technical error, but you were saying about Marco.
Yeah, Marco just spacing off, giving respect to Sanji and Zoro, and little hint of some relation he had with Whitebeard, some conversations they had about possibly King's people. And they're talking about God's land being above Mary Joyce, and I will say on this, Pops mentions that it's in the distant past, so I'm assuming this is before the Void Century that he's referencing, but I don't know.
I mean, it could be prior to the Void Century. The Void Century is a long period of time, so it's hard to really gauge what the distant past could be. It could be the only thing I'm taking from this is that the God's Land thing was prior to Marijoa, the Marijoa era of the Red Line. So it seems like there was something going on the Red Line prior to Marijoa, and then I'm guessing the Celestial Dragons came and kicked them out and took things over. At least it's my interpretation.
Also, I'm also thinking that maybe they're still up there, and this could be where the Revolutionary Army has gone after their defeat. Maybe we'll see them back there with the people if there's anybody else in Mary Jo's, which I think there might be because of stuff that happens later. But anyways,
maybe that's where Baltigo was, because it was just like all stone when we saw it. I mean, I know it was white stone, but who knows? Maybe it was a little like alcove or something where the people who lived on the Red Line were could potentially be the case.
Possibly, never know. Oda has layers on layers. All right, but Marco's distracted and has to get pushed by Izo, who I don't know if these are like sea stone bullets that they're firing. Otherwise, it wouldn't really hurt Marco.
Well, I'm starting to get the impression that Marco's ability is stamina related. So it's he might be running out of rejuvenation juice at this point, and that's kind of the way to deal with him. You just got to keep damaging him 1,000 times over and over again. But yeah, Izo swoops him up so he doesn't get hit by some random dudes shooting, and Izo berates him. He's like, "Oh, what the hell's wrong with you?" And he's like, "I knew you'd take care of things," which kind of seems like bullshit. And then randomly asks Izo, "Hey, do you believe in God?" And
which is not something you want to hear from an ally in the middle of a
battle. not something you want to hear most of the time from anybody unsolicited, to be quite frank.
But she remarks that that's just what Whitebeard used to say when he was drunk all the time. So
yes.
And then we get a moment and we're back on King and Queen. So a lot of heavy action with the All-Stars.
Yeah. And
and they mentioned.
now I'm gonna say he's talking heavy. He's like, yo, did he even phase us? If you want to get this going, you're gonna have to really put some effort into it. And we're not jokers, so get your shit together.
Put some respect on my name right now. But they mentioned like their nicknames. Drought, the Plague, and the Wildfire coming out. The new record, 2021. But I mentioned the calamities for a reason, and Queen just lets off with a barrage of laser blasts,
which they dodge,
and
Sanji's making a little exclamation like "ugh," and Zoro's confused, he's asking him what's wrong, and then Sanji's like, "Yeah, I don't know, man. Since second time he's used the raid suit, he's feeling kind of weird. So this is a point of contention. This is something to discuss.
Yeah.
So, there's a couple scenarios. The raid suit is maybe harming him. Maybe it's detrimental to him. Maybe it's changing his mentality. Maybe it's doing something to his brain. Who knows? I would hate to see something like, it's corrupting his personality and taking away emotions or making him more apathetic or whatever the case might be. Like it's going to alter him in that way. Or do something that's, taking away his natural abilities and going to make him more reliant on the raid suit. The ideal situation, I think, would be that it's augmenting him and adding something, amplifying what he already has, like pulling out his full potential. We got a guru situation, Dende guru situation, realizing the Z Fighter's full capabilities. So I'm hoping it is the latter of those two situations.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be that. He's going to get a significant body upgrade, like the rest of Germa have. Because bulletproof, which Sanji obviously isn't. They can do other crazy crap that Sanji cannot do. Even though he's stronger than them, it would appear like in his base form. But this, to me, might just be like a raising of stats for him now that he's worn the suit. It'll amplify his body and kind of harden him and bring out more of what he can do.
Yeah.
That's the best case scenario.
That's what I hope.
Worst case scenario could be that the raid suit, like Judge, sets some crap up to try and get him to be, like you said, to be that more cold personality, or it's hurting him to use the suit because he isn't at the level of his siblings.
I don't think it would be something that's spiteful per se, like they gave him the suit with the intention of trying to be something detrimental to him, but something that they would
just completing the experiment.
Something they would consider beneficial in their eyes, would not necessarily be ideal for what he wants. So who knows? But maybe it's leading to something like, he won't need the raid suit. The raid suit will impart something into him that he won't actually need to put the suit on anymore. So who knows?
If he turns invisible off the bat, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
Invisible fire kicks.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be something that has to play out. I hope in the next chapters quickly because I really want to get answers on that. And I'm hoping it's for the benefit. I'm hoping he doesn't have to be in his raid suit all the time or something, getting crapped on that with the thing.
Yeah.
But we'll have to just wait and see as the time goes on. But then we have King rushing in because he's always on point, and he tries to take out Sanji when he's talking to crowd. He sees a weakness and he's like, "You're an idiot." And Zoro with the lucky save, blocking for Sanji. So Sanji gets to keep his head for just a little bit longer.
Yes.
But Queen is pretty quick on the uptake and tries to take out Zoro with some flaming claw hair attack.
Yeah. So
Zoro.
Sanji blocks Queen. So Zoro saved Sanji, and then Sanji immediately afterwards saved Zoro. Saying like, "Hey, I don't owe you anymore." So we're good. And I think this is significant. I think, with the whole toxic debate of Sanji versus Zoro, where this kind of depiction of them defending each other and, swooping in to protect each other is kind of like, hey, there's a symmetry here, there's a balance here, you know what I mean? Like, so I think that's important.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear, like, it's a sibling rivalry. They don't hate each other. They're just, trying to compete to get better. And that looks crazy with brothers sometimes. So lay off the Sanji and Zoro. It's all good. They just like to shit on each other. But we get some dialogue from Queen here talking about he remembers that Judge's kids are all enhanced, and he's like, oh yeah, that burning leg of yours is some kind of mutation. And Sanji's like, nah, dude, I'm a regular schmegular Joe. I just have I just have a flaming leg out of nowhere. And Sanji and Queen's like, are you dumb as hell? Like, what are you talking about? What kind of human
people don't burst into flames, bro. It's not like you're
I'm a scientist. This doesn't happen.
It's not, and then he drops the knowledge. It's not like you're a Lunarian, and King's like, shut the fuck up.
Bro, are you talking on my tea on the streets, bro? You up? You're lucky I need you right now.
Yeah.
And everybody missing that dialogue. And Sanji, replies, "It's my leg comes from my passions. It's just my hot soul burning up."
Yeah, because that's rational.
Yeah, that's the thing that happens.
Yeah, but then he does some cool ass cartwheel, like spinning roundhouse kick. Atatürk.
He was watching Black Maria's attack earlier, and he's like, "That looks kind of cool. I'm gonna try that with my leg."
Yeah, cartwheel of flaming doom. He kicks. He kicks at Queen, and Queen finally showing arm in hockey, blocking it with his forearm. So that's interesting. And he straight up just says, "Oh, I'll show you how devastating my cybernetic enhancements can be. They're so advanced, even Vegapunk can't match them." Which I think is him being braggadocious and full of shit. It's been Vegapunk's been touted as this amazing genius. He's untouchable, light years ahead of everybody. You're 100 years too early to challenge me, kind of situation. So I think Queen is a little bit confused about what he's capable of.
Yeah, and we're the audiences as well. Like, I don't know if what Vegapunk is really. Maybe he's a naive old guy. Maybe he's someone who's holding everything close to the chest and just doing what he can because there's deeper reasons going on. There has to be layers. I'm sure we have to get into Vegapunk's crazy backstory one day, and we'll have to just see what he's really capable of. Because I also lean towards that as well. It seems like Vegapunk probably has like crazier stuff in store that maybe he just doesn't use. Who knows?
Yeah, man.
But we'll too much conjecture can't make a real conclusion off the information.
Right. But let's before we move on, let's go back to that whole Lunarian thing. So I think it's heavily implied this Lunarian thing is the name of King's race, first off. And then who knows, so we have the whole like what is bloodline manipulation? What the hell do they call it? Basic bloodline. Yeah, the lineage factors. There you go. That's how they phrase it in One Piece. But basically DNA. And the modifications that Sanji and his siblings have are from DNA manipulation. So it could be that Sanji is able to do what he does because he has genes from Lunarian race. He's not Lunarian himself, but has some of their DNA inside of him. Something else that's brought up, we have this Lunarian race with firepower. We have fishmen with water power. We have minks with electricity power. So like, and then Ichiji has electricity power. So maybe they've taken attributes from a bunch of different races, and that's why him and his siblings have these abilities.
Who would be the poisoner?
I have no idea. Maybe it's a deviation of water stuff or something. Maybe that's how you can think of it. But yeah.
Then you also have what is it? Onji, right? What's the first one? Sorry,
Ichiji.
Ichiji. Sorry. Ichiji. Isn't he also a fire base?
I want to say it's like plasma. Like he turns into like red energy bullets and like projects himself. It's not really fire, at least as far as I saw. It's like energy. It's like red energy beams.
Like Cyclops.
Yeah. But yeah, who knows? Maybe that's why. Maybe that's where Sanji shit comes from. But yes. Moving on, like you were saying before. We get Zoro leads the attack this time, and strikes at King, and King blocks with his sword, and I don't think these ridges were on his sword prior to this. I think what's happening is he's either doing something to the sword himself, or maybe some like mechanical sword of some sort, and these ridges have appeared, and it's like a little comb, and he catches.
It definitely is that, because you see a click.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he, definitely traps him with that. Zoro didn't just like not notice that as he was doing it. So he does lure him in. Does a trick sword attack.
Yeah.
Manages to disarm Zoro with 2 of his swords, which is crazy. Disarming his swords is a big deal.
Yeah.
So mad props to King there. We gotta give him his, some flowers. And he immediately swoops in with his, gloved spike hand and tries to punch Zoro right in the face to get this battle over. And it looks like it's over. We don't see immediately. It looks like he connects solidly, but of course Zoro has his, mouth sword blade, and he has blood.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have thought it was over, but it did look like that punch connected, and then we get the little reveal. Yeah, like Zoro blocked it with his sword, which is pretty cool. And then we
it mentions he's just a bloodthirsty brute, not really a fighter with a select style. And the King is like, well, yeah, because that's dumb. He does that in a street fight with pirates.
Yeah.
What are we out here?
He's basically saying, he's like, I never understood why anyone would stick to traditional forms and techniques in a real battle. So I guess people maybe had the understanding that King was maybe a swordsman, but King is just like, nah, the sword is just an attribute of my capabilities.
It just goes stabby stab, and I like that. Amazing. But Zoro commentates, you know what, you're kind of right. That's how battles go. But just remember, if I have to, I'm gonna bite your throat out if I need to. And King's like, damn, all right, this guy ain't fucking around.
He more so looks like, all right, I'm gonna remember you said that. Let's see how this goes down. Then
maybe he has like some sharp, jagged teeth that he's hiding under that S&M mask, and he's like, oh, you want to talk about biting? We'll get into biting later.
Yeah. I'm wondering what he's gonna look like. If and when we see what's under the mask. We got the spectators in the background, Kawamatsu and Hyogoro, and they're watching on this fight. Zoro and King clash, and they start dropping some facts about Shimotsuki and how Zoro looks and fights similar to Shimotsuki Ushimaru. So for those of you who don't read the SBS, it was revealed that Shimotsuki Ushimaru left Wano with, I guess, an assortment of people from Wano. They had a grand adventure, went to East Blue, found a Shimotsuki village where Zoro is from, and Shimotsuki Ushimaru is Koshiro's father, which is Zoro's teacher, and Kuina's grandfather. So there's a direct lineage there, and also Shimotsuki Ushimaru is a descendant of Shimotsuki Ryuma.
But I think the important thing to note is that he brought people with him, and I think one of those people was probably also a part of the clan, maybe like, I guess, a lower branch of it, you could say, or just maybe even a retainer. And that's where Zoro's ancestry comes from. I think we can pretty much confirm that. And it must be fate. And Kawamatsu also remarks that it's pretty cool that he brought Ryuma back. It must be fate. And they also mentioned that Ryuma himself was a one-eyed samurai.
Yeah, he didn't bring Ryuma back. He brought Shisui back.
Shisui back, and imagine he brought the corpse back. I brought your friend back too.
Imagine him with Ryuma, like holding him. Hi, Ryuma. Hi, everybody.
But behind all this, we see King and Zoro clashing. King trying to hit him with a boot and does a really cool kick pose while also stabbing him.
So this brought up something in my mind, because Katakuri did a very similar pose with kicking at Luffy, and I was gonna say, do you think King and Katakuri's design is maybe too similar?
It's very similar. Like their body type is identical pretty much. Their head obviously very different and very
so pretty much from the waist down they're the same. They're both very giant people, you know,
Yeah.
and then but you know they got the leather.
And both handle their business pretty well. I mean, except King being more of a sadist, obviously, and kind of Corey being a man of honor and class.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure from the waist up, you know, if and when he takes off the mask, he'll look completely different, and you know he has other shit going on. But they both get that biker punk motif thing happening. Maybe King a little bit more S&M than biker, but you know, yeah.
Yeah. S&M Flame Pterodactyl.
Yeah.
It's a lot going on, so it's different enough for me that. But I get what you're
Yeah.
saying, especially the body
Yeah.
type. Yeah. But moving on, we do see we're back to Jack now,
Mhm.
and we see him fighting Eno, and it's pretty cool. Jack talking his shit, how he beat up the country, and he's like, "Oh, why don't you go back to sleep, old man?"
Yeah, and we get the Jack hybrid reveal, which is more of a centaur form than anything. So yeah, he's like lower half is like mammoth legs, so he's like on all fours. Then he has a torso of himself, but he still has the mammoth head. But then his two arms are out to the side, like his human arms with the swords. So you know, there's a lot going on there. And who knows? Maybe he has multiple forms. Like maybe he's kind of similar to Kaku, where Kaku did Pasta Machine and all that kind of shit. Where you know he was lengthening his limbs or you know adjusting his body in different ways and shapes and stuff. So who knows? Maybe the centaur form is just one of his appearances that he can take on.
We shall see. But either way, it looks stupid. Don't know how he swing his blades above his face because his horns are just jutting out from the trunk.
Yeah.
I don't know how he sees officially. It's very distracting.
Yeah.
But he tries to swing at Eno, and Eno just catches that, throws him through the freaking building into the dome area, and we see they're still talking and how the journey they went through the 20 years since Odin's gone, and how everything they've done is to get to this point, even losing his limb, threatening to slice his own stomach open, swearing that he doesn't know where he is. And now we see the Sulong revelation of Inu, and holy crap, it's freaking awesome again. I love seeing their Sulong.
Yeah, apparently a hole was put
Majestic.
through the roof, and the moon was visible. So he's able to go back to Sulong again.
And this happened because of Ashura's sacrifice when gets the fake Odin out of the way. The scabbards are killing up after the battle. And when he takes one for the team, and we actually see his corpse when Jack is getting flung through the room, so we see where the hole in the roof is at and why it was caused there. So not just it happens, and this is a pretty good setup from earlier, and I like how all these things are kind of coming back to make a big difference. And he gives off his final battle speech. That we've endured a lot to reach this. You destroyed our city, but now the dawn is here, and they'll lay down their lives if they have to.
Yeah, something to note. This is the second time you're using Sulong, and there's supposed to be limitations on it. Otherwise, they kind of like lose themselves and shit. I think we're kind of going towards he's saying he.
Well, the thing is, no. I think what he was saying is that they have to work to master it, and if you don't master, that's why. Kara was able to do it correctly. It was such an impressive thing for her to do it, and then
Well, you have to be able to master it, but she also said like there's specifically you can't.
You don't have to be able to master it because what's his name from the.
All right, the point I'm making, to use it efficiently, you can only use it for a specific time. Otherwise, you're gonna like lose your shit. Like that's why she had to drop out of the form. She was reaching her time limit.
I thought it was because she was gonna die.
It's taxing on the body, but Eno's saying like, oh, if we have to lay down our lives to do it, to get this done, and we're gonna do it. So I'm thinking we're leading towards they're gonna go fucking psychotic and just like burn their life energy out to just push things forward. But I mean, Eno's already like baby shaking Jack right now in base form. So I think with Sulong, he's gonna wrap this up pretty simply.
Yeah, I'm glad too because I freaking hate Jack. I mean, he's a great villain. I really want him to mess him up right now. And speaking of people we want to see messed up, we see Pero Spero on the ground. I think in that punk slap from Neko. And they're outside as well now. They're in front of the Skull Dome of Tony Shikama. Onigashima.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he mentions Pedro. He's like, without Pedro's sacrifice, what they did on Big Mom's Island wouldn't have happened. And we see Carrot and Wanda looking on, and they're exhausted. And Neko has now gone into his Sulong form, and that looks absolutely terrifying. And Pedro Espedo has my same expression, which is, holy crap, I'm about to die.
Yeah, Neko's telling me this is the last moon you're gonna see. All right, I don't like Neko's Sulong form. I hate
Really?
that mustache. He looks like the fucking Lorax. Come on, man. Like I
It's a Lorax on
Yeah.
steroids. I love it. It's a flaming cat.
yeah. If the mustache wasn't there, then I can get on board a little bit more. But I am not a fan of that fucking mustache at all. He was goofy as shit to me. But yeah, he's gonna fuck Pedro Spero up in a second, and
Oh yeah. If he bitch slapped him like that earlier, I can imagine.
Yeah.
But I did.
if anything,
So,
I kind of think Neko, like with Inu and Jack, there's kind of a question like, oh man, which way is this gonna go? With Neko and Pedro.
well, no, I don't think so. Especially because he threw him through, in his base form. I think it's like you said to me.
Okay, so the
Shown to be on
the
the level.
disparity between Jack and Inu, I think, is smaller than the disparity between Neko and Pedro Spero. And I mean, who knows? Maybe I'm just underestimating Pedro Spero, but I highly have the impression that Neko is really not going to have too much difficulty dealing with Pedro Spero. So yeah.
But we would have to wait and see in that, and that's the end of that part for now. And then we go to the ninja fight again. We have Rice.
I like how Fukurokuju's like making himself fly with his like earlobes. He's using them like little
Oh
helicopters.
my god, I just got that right now.
And Raizu's doing some scroll work. They're fighting back and forth, and Fukuro's like, you're serving a child, and Raizu's defending him like, everybody needs to time to mature. Even we were bums when we first became samurai, so it takes time, and Wano's gonna shape him, etc., etc. We won't take that hope away, and yeah.
And again, mentioning the ghosts of how they're all ghosts, and that's what I'm playing. What happens next? Because we see that was only a quick battle between two groups. We see Udon Tokage Port, where Luffy's gang is, and all of Law's crews flipping out like, why is Kaido's here? Do we stand a chance? And in the next page, we get another double page, and it's a giant Momo dragon mature form. And holy crap, this is a on-point dragon. This thing looks beautiful.
Yeah, that shit looks awesome. I mean, just the way they arranged everything, like the way he's looking at Luffy and all the loops and everything, very flowy. It looks awesome. And Luffy.
We see clouds coming around, so he has a kind of cloud action, which I dig. His fur running down his spine is really majestic. Horns fully developed. It's crazy. He looks like an intimidating scary.
Gotta cue the music. Let's get down to business to defeat Kaido.
And Luffy is having a flashback from when he first met Momo, and remembering how he was. Momo was like, don't eat me, I'm not your snack. And Luffy says, Momo. Momo's like, that's right. They're gonna take, and they're ready to take on Kaido's forces. We see Shinobu having a little flashback. She followed his orders, she says, aged until he was 28, and she's crying because he looks like ... And we know what it is. He looks like
Whoop
Dad.
Slap, number 15 in the top 50 popularity poll. Nah, I'm pretty sure it's Odin. And so, I mean, maybe I'm reading too much into this. His arm.
Oh, but the end, we see Luffy and Momo saying, "Let's take back Wano," and they both have the serious look on their face. Yeah, let's go. And oh my god, I'm ready for this. I'm ready for the action. It's
Yeah, man.
But
No, I was just saying his arm. He looks slightly less muscular than Odin did, which would be interesting to differentiate him from Odin. Maybe a more sleeker form. He still looks like he's in shape, and he's like fit, but maybe he's not as brolic as Odin. But
yeah, because Odin had to work his whole life, so that he was like a prodigy as well.
Yeah.
Right? He was like 16. He was able to kill demons and stuff.
yeah, no, he was pretty brolic from the get go. had unnatural strength, and Momonosuke didn't seem to showcase any of those kinds of attributes. But yeah, this is pretty cool. He's taller than Shinobu, and Shinobu and Luffy are the same height. So it's gonna be interesting to see that dynamic of Momonosuke now being physically looking down on Luffy because he's so much taller than him. But yeah, so it's kind of weird because you can look at Hiyori and be like, okay, I can see her growing up to look like Toki. They look very similar in design, but Momonosuke doesn't really look like Odin at all. Like Odin has more.
I mean, he looks like a kid. He looks like a like you look at the young characters on One Piece, they don't necessarily look too much like they're growing up. You know, they have that round face,
But Hiyori as a child looks pretty similar to Toki as an adult. Like there's a very strong comparison between the two. Like it's not so much of a stretch. My point is, I hope Momonosuke doesn't just look like an Odin clone and still has Momonosuke attributes but has Odin similarities. So there's a similarity but there's still differentiation and he's his own person.
I think the big thing is gonna be the hair. Like it'll be like Odin's face with like Momo's hair. I think it's probably what we're gonna get to compromise there.
I'm wondering if his hair grew out too, because looks kind of goofy with that top knot situation. I'm not a fan of that top knot with the shaved head and then the sides. What the hell's that guy's name?
The reverse.
Yeah. What's that guy's name from Seinfeld? George. Yeah, George Costanza. Bald man look. I'm not a big fan of that. But yeah, looking forward to this. It's so fucking hype. So many crazy things happen in this chapter.
This was jam-packed. Yeah. This was a crazy chapter. Would have given us the goods this week. I love it. But yeah, that was chapter 1023. And what a chapter it was. 2 peas in the pod. Really knocked it out the freaking park today.
Alright, and with that being said, we'll get into our predictions. Not predictions, what am I talking about? Chapter grade! Alright, man, we are here with our chapter grade. This was a jam-packed chapter. Lots of cool different segments. Really impactful stuff that I actually care about. Really solid all around. I'm probably gonna give this chapter like a 9 straight out.
Yeah, I was thinking about giving it like a 9.5, something high, like really high. It's not a perfect 10, but like definitely like better than a 9 for me. So I'll put it at a 9.2.
Okay.
Excellent chapter, jam packed full of action, great pages, great seeing the Sulong form guys. So much information dropped at end, stuff we have to talk about. Just an amazing chapter, top to bottom.
Yeah,
Oda really killed it.
The Zoro and Sanji stuff was dope. The like you said, the Sulong stuff was dope. And the reveal at the end with Momo in his full dragon form was amazing. So yeah, it was just fucking epic all around.
And then we get the name drop of King's possible race, the Lunarians. Further connection, of Zoro's roots in Wano, and we see that he, more than likely is definitely of that clan, of Ryuma's clan. So it's really awesome to see that. And Momo's reveal at the end, just amazing to see him in his full dragon mode. A lot of people I think were skeptical, like, oh, how's he gonna look when he's aged, and what's that gonna be like? It's kind of pop up, but just the way that this dragon looks right now, totally worth it. Totally cool as hell, and I'm glad this was what they decided to go. So yeah, everybody gotta be a little more patient. Things play out,
Yeah.
Sometimes you get awesome rewards like this.
Yeah, even the fucking color splash outside of the chapter was amazing with the top, the top 50 highest voted characters, like just from inception.
Yeah, that was some beautiful work.
Yeah. Like, it's amazing all around. Like, so many people are hyped off of this. But yeah, I guess not much more to say than that. Like, dope ass chapter. And I think things are just going to keep escalating even further and crazier from here. Like, we're just in the baby phase of Zoro and Sanji's fight, and that's going to be crazy and epic. And Zoro flying up to Onigashima on the back of Momo as a dragon. It's gonna look crazy.
Luffy.
Yeah, what'd I say?
You said Zoro.
Yeah, Luffy flying on the back of Momonosuke as a dragon is gonna be epic. It's all craziness, man.
And so many predictions to make off this, but yeah, just an amazing chapter. Just my hat's off, clap, clap. Want to send Oda some flowers and chocolates. This was just amazing.
Yes.
I love it.
So with that being said, we can now move into the MVP.
This is hard.
Yeah.
Really difficult this week, and I'm gonna go in a surprising direction. I'm gonna give it to King.
Okay.
This week.
We gave it to King last week, but what is your reasoning for this one?
Big moments, keeping us cool, looking intimidating, disarming Zoro. Is a pretty cool moment, and then about to punch his face off. Really epic stuff from him. I love King. I love how he gets down to business and how he beats everybody up. I don't know. King gives me a lot of cool stuff, and I just think the thing that was very difficult this week, especially because so many people did so many cool things, and just his dialogue was just awesome for me. So that's why I'm gonna give it to King, but maybe you felt differently. Want to go in a different direction?
Yeah, maybe. So I mean, I could even say it's a dual MVP between Sanji and Zoro, given how they were complementing each other, combat wise, like, defending each other and, working as a team. That was pretty cool. I could see some validness in what you said for King. Ultimately though, I think for me it's between Momo and Inu. I know Neko also went too long as well, but like it was more so he was just posing and speechifying in his segment, whereas Inu got shit done. And then just the awesomeness of Momo and his full dragon and taking control of the situation, like, had a very strong impact for me as well. But I guess go ahead.
No, the same Momo definitely looks great. Definitely up there as well. But I just felt like with just the one last page, I wasn't gonna like. It felt like if this was at the beginning of the chapter, maybe we had like another little moment. I don't know. But for me, it just all the interaction from the King really just was cool, and like his seriousness in taking the battle and almost taking out Sanji and Zoro was pretty dope.
Yeah, I guess gun to my head, I'm gonna say Inu. Because Inu just, like I said, he baby shook Jack and just smashed him through the wall, and he
in his Sulong form definitely looks cool as a mofo.
Yeah.
Cool as a mofo.
Yeah. So
and I guess you don't hate his mustache whiskers coming.
No, it's not as weird and frayed and ridiculous and over the top as Neko's is. Like I said, Neko just looks like the fucking Lorax to me. So, not gonna. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that design. But even putting designs aside, got a lot done. With Jack. So I'm gonna give it to Inu.
Yeah, and I feel like just him and Neko are gonna finish Jack and Pedo Spedo first pretty quickly, and maybe even Raizo and Fukuroka Juice fight will get wrapped in pre and let King and Queen, Sanji and Zoro really get like a whole lot of action going in the chapter down the line. That's my
get more fleshed out.
Yeah.
But yes, so yeah, those are MVPs, and now we can move into our predictions. So predictions for next chapter. I think, like you said, I mean, you pretty much just kind of laid it out right now. I think we're gonna get the meat of the next chapter will be, the spats between Neko and Inu, with little maybe a small flash of Zoro and Sanji's situation. Maybe we get more developments with what's happening with Sanji, and we'll see what's going on there and what exactly is happening with him. I think more than anything, it'll be a teaser, and we'll get like some kind of clue, more of a strong clue as to what direction it's going in. But we're not going to see the full fruition of whatever happened is happening with
Maybe
him.
he'll take like a Queen Laser Blast directly or something, and then he'll walk it off and be like, "Oh, that's what's up with my body. I am like indestructible now."
Yeah, maybe. I think we will see Luffy flying up on Momonosuke next chapter.
I do too. I think that's how we're gonna end the chapter next week. It's like a really cool image, and maybe we'll also see like Kaido, take out Odin / Yamato before. But I think we're gonna end with Luffy and Momo looking really serious, really determined to get back in the battle, flying up to Onigashima.
Yeah, Kaido's gonna probably bug out when he sees another dragon. He's gonna be like, "What the fuck is this? What happened? Did Yamato? Am I dreaming right now? Did Yamato hit me so hard that I'm like hallucinating myself, flying at me right now?"
And a couple big developments for this, but for both forms, Kaido might freak out, CP0 might freak out when they see that.
Yeah.
Because, they were talking about Vegapunk's, fruit, and this is obviously confirmation because they know for a fact that Kaido should be the only dragon.
Right.
So if they see a second dragon, they'll be like, "Oh crap, maybe he got a hold of Vega." That's a weird thing that was on my mind earlier. That's why something like that. Who knows?
Yeah, they keep saying like, "Oh, it's a failed fruit. It's a failed fruit." It doesn't seem like a failed fruit to me. Just saying. Yeah. I really think Vegapunk was hiding the truth of that scenario, and it gives some kind of information as to Vegapunk's motivation and personality. He's hiding things from the government, so he's not putting all his cards on the table with them. He's not being straight up with them.
I hope so, because if he's like a malicious psychopath, they might be screwed. If you have Tony Stark evil, it's not a good look.
Yeah.
But also a little further predictions too. Like, it's going to be very interesting seeing this Momo Odin reveal, and that's going to shake the battlefield to its core. I do know when Orochi sees it, he's going to flip the F out, because he's been literally scared and talking about Ghost this whole time. And again, that references the Ghost talk for the last 4 weeks. Oh, the ghost of the past.
Yeah. He's gonna be like, "I killed you. Why are you back here?"
Same thing with Kaido. Kaido might also have a flip out moment. Like, what the heck? Like, it's Odin, and Yamato will also obviously flip out too. But I'm just hoping the Scabbards don't attack him thinking it's fake Odin again or something.
Yeah, Momo in and of himself, with his adult form and his dragon form, is gonna have so many ripple effects across so many different things, like how Roshi's gonna react, how Kaido's gonna react, how CP0 is gonna react. Yamato's gonna react. Yeah,
literally everybody in Wano.
Yeah, the morale of the samurai. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Because if they think all the Scabbards are back as a ghost, they might think that Odin's back as a ghost. That'll be an interesting.
It's also interesting to me too, because with the fake out Odin of that Kanjuro drew up. We had this "Oh no, how can this be?" It's lamenting their lost lord and all that stuff, and wishing he was back there. And now we have this positive force of a representation of Odin. So it's I think there's gonna be some kind of symmetry between the two. Instead of this fake Odin showing up and being detrimental, we're gonna have this imitation Odin showing up being a positive thing, and there'll be probably some similarities instead of he'll be there to save the Scabbards. How do you want the mechanics of his fighting capabilities, his physical attributes to be? Because it's kind of like a cop out for him to just get aged up and just be like a crazy fighter and shit. Cause
I don't think he'll be on Odin's level at all. I think he'll be honestly base samurai level. Yeah. Not crazy strong at all.
I'd put him maybe slightly above base samurai. He does have some training. Zoro was training him a little bit, and he's been training all his life, doing sword strike practice and all that stuff. But it doesn't make up for real combat experience. Yeah. So
that's a big question mark. I don't particularly think he'll be crazy strong, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Maybe a respectable level. Maybe he's above Usopp and Nami.
Yeah. And he'll also have dragon hybrid capabilities as well. So even the lack of skill can be made up for with his fruit ability. So we'll see how that goes.
It's possible. Imagine like this is just a weak dragon. It just looks really, really cool.
Yeah. I'm wondering.
I don't know how to fly still. I'm just giant.
Yeah, I'm wondering what attributes he'll have at his disposal. Like, he should have borrow breath, right? You know what I mean? He should be able to. I mean, it could be Kaido learned these things through experience with his fruit. You know what I mean? Like we never see Momonosuke fight in dragon form and experiment with his capabilities.
All we've seen, all the power that we've seen of it is just like the ability to throw out clouds and stuff.
Yeah.
Now he only did that when he was distressed. So, the possibilities here. Who knows what this dragon form is capable of? I cannot wait.
Yeah.
To see this animated on the big screen. This is going to be insane to see.
Mm-hmm.
And whew, just really good job.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I guess those.
The Wano arc is get heating the hell up.
Yeah. Just a side note, with these fans translations and the colorings they do for fun at the end, the colored Momonosuke shit with him looking at Luffy looks so fucking cool, man. Like seeing this huge red dragon, like it looks so fucking dope. But yeah, man, those were our predictions.
For me, it looks like it's pinkish. It does look.
Yeah, I'm wondering too. Like, are we gonna just assume that he's gonna be a pink or red dragon? Maybe. I mean,
I would assume red, just because I know there's like that symbology of the blue dragon and the red dragon, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe Kaido started out as like a baby red dragon and turned into a blue dragon. We don't know the mechanics behind it. Maybe the dragon color is unique to the person who's the fruit is attached to.
It'd be a little confusing though if he was like two blue dragons in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess they probably did a decent job of showing you that Kaido has a mustache, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be like that scene in Avatar with the blue and red dragon flying around when they met that ancient sun tribe and shit. Yeah. But yeah, man. I guess that wraps up our predictions. Again, I can't say it enough. This chapter was fucking crazy, and we have consecutive chapters of One Piece to look forward to.
Hopefully with more awesome, amazing cover pages, because this was insane.
Yeah. Shit's gonna just keep escalating more and more and more.
I love it. Thank you, Oda. It takes time, and this is that's the thing about his arcs, right? They take forever to build up, and once you're in the action, it's nonstop, and it's just great. Same thing with every arc that's happened before, and now he took his time to get here, and now we are at the top, and not even at the top, because we still have Kaido versus Luffy to go.
Yeah.
And this is just awesome. Thank you so much. This was just a great chapter.
Mm-hmm. All right, man. With that being said, thank you so much for joining us. Hope you loved the chapter as much as we did. And if you got any comments you want to throw in there, any thing that resonated with you or that you disagree with, any theories, whatever it might be you want to say, feel free to throw it down there. Love to hear from you guys. Please like and subscribe, por favor.
And if you didn't like the chapter and want to comment, please let us know as well, and we'll explain to you why you're wrong.
Yes.
But I would like to see if someone didn't care for the chapter, because just you have no emotions in here. If we missed anything or anything that popped up to you guys as theories, maybe we didn't see or didn't quite catch, please let us know.
Mm-hmm.
Lots to discuss. So yeah, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and yeah, that's pretty much it for us.
Word, son. All right, guys. I've been Log Zero.
It's your boy Rev.
And we'll see you next time. Peace.